I'm at a farmer's market here in Puerto Vallarta, and this farmer's market is not very much different than most farmer's markets I've been to in Canada or the US, mainly because it's full of tourists and expats that live here. So I'm not going to talk about that whole thing. I'm just going to talk about some basic things, 5 things in particular, that I think are super important if you want to sell out and crush it at the farmer's market every time you do one. So the first thing that's super important is you've got to stand up. You have to be engaged. Stand up, stay engaged, and make your customers feel like you're meeting them on their level. The problem with sitting down is, for one, it doesn't really personify an image of you care. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm just sitting here, I don't really want to be here. It kind of shows apathy, and you don't want that in sales. This is kind of rudimentary to sales. But another thing that's super important about standing up is that when customers approach your booth, you're already at eye level with them. And this has a lot to do with body language, and I'll talk more about that in this list of 5. But when they come to you, you're already standing. If you sit down and you kind of wait for customers, and then when a customer shows up, you stand up, you immediately change the vibe. And there's a subconscious reaction that people will have to that, is it kind of puts them off. And this might be different in other countries, but I found in North America, North Americans in particular, they like to kind of meet you in the middle. You don't want to be too overbearing, but you don't want to be passive. You kind of want to meet them in the middle and kind of remain neutral when they come to your stand. The second thing that is totally rudimentary to setting up at a farmer's market, it's an old saying with farmers: pile it high, watch it fly. Create the illusion of abundance. You might not have a lot of stuff, but the way you stack your stuff, the way you put it all together, you can create vertical piles, you can hang things from the sides, you can create the illusion of abundance, because people like abundance. People like the idea of a pile. If you have a pile, you know, human beings are often attracted to piles of bullshit, but that's a whole other story. But in the instance of stuff, we like piles of stuff. This is why conventional grocery stores make mountains of Coke cans, or in the liquor store, mountains of beer 6-packs of PBR. You know, people like a pile, and they're drawn to that. Human beings aren't that much different than crows. We like shiny things, and we like piles of things, and so we're drawn to the piles. So create the pile it high, watch it fly, create the illusion of abundance if you don't have an absolute abundance. Another thing that I see, this is the number 3, that people make a mistake on all the time, is they don't monitor their customer flow. And if you shop at a farmer's market, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you go into a booth, and it's often, and I don't want to, no, who cares, I'm just going to say it. There's often a line of old ladies in the front that are asking to sample every single thing, and it takes forever to get in there. You, as the vendor, have a responsibility to make sure that you monitor how your customer's flow moves. And when you see that, and you're selling, you have to be thinking and talking at the same time, but also monitor the flow. So when you see that, you have to say politely, "Excuse me, ladies, would you mind if I just let these people in? They want to make a quick purchase." And do that. You have to kind of multitask when you're doing these things. But if you can keep your flow of customers smooth, people will keep coming back. And I've seen this happen many times, work out negatively for vendors, where you get a reputation of being somebody who takes forever, and then a lot of people at farmers markets who say, it's a waste of time, you got to stand in line for half an hour. You have to be cognizant of people's time and accommodate the people that want to just come in and give you money, because at the end of the day, they just want to come in and give you cash, and they want to be out of there. Okay, the fourth thing that's pretty tied to that last one is you have to learn to talk and sell at the same time. One of the things that people love coming to a farmer's market for is they want to talk to the producer. They want to get to know you. They want to know your story. They want to know about your product. They want to get to know you. And that's a great thing. So you kind of have to learn to be a talking head when you're at a farmer's market. But what you have to do is you have to be able to sell and talk at the same time. So you need to be able to be engaged in a conversation with somebody, telling them about your farm, telling them about what you do, but then also have somebody who just wants to be that person who wants to just give you some money and leave, and then take their money, make their change, and say, "Thank you very much, see you later." You have to be able to do that. So you really have to be able to multitask and do one thing while having a conversation at the same time. And that's not easy to do. It takes time to do that, but with some practice, and if you're really aware of it, you'll do it, and you can, you know, Viva Mexico. You learn to do it at the same time, basically, and it's super important. It ties right into customer flow and keeping people coming into your stand and not getting frustrated by you. Okay, the fifth thing, and there could be many more, but this is the fifth one. I learned this from my girlfriend, and this is mirroring body language. So super important. It's something that people at high levels of business do, something that Tony Robbins talks about, but be able to mirror somebody's body language. So how that plays out in a farmer's market is when people come to your booth, you kind of give them a once over and kind of figure out where they're at. There's some people that come up to your stand and they're super keeners. They're high energy and they're like, they want to talk and they want to get into it. They want to see what you've got. And those are opportunities where you can launch into it, give them your spiel, sell them the stuff, they walk away happy. But there's other kinds of people who are maybe more timid, who come up and they don't really want to have a conversation. They kind of want to just look at your stuff. And if they feel like it, they'll buy something. If you're too pushy with those people, they'll leave. And I see it here in Mexico all the time, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there's kind of 6 months of tourism here. All the Americans and Canadians come down to specifically Puerto Vallarta for 6 months, and a lot of the people that have been, you know, living here and they make their money through tourism, they've had downtime for a period of time and they're a little eager. So you walk by and they go, hey amigo, can I say something? And they're just like aggressively trying to sell you something. Honestly, there's no bigger turnoff, in my opinion, than somebody who is an eager beaver and just trying to hustle you, because that's what it seems like. It seems like they're trying to hustle you. They might not very well be trying to hustle you, but that's what it seems like. So you want to kind of meet people in the middle of where they're at. If they're kind of chill, you want to be kind of chill. If they're high energy, you might try to mirror that a little bit. I mean, you have to do it without being pretentious, obviously, but you want to kind of meet people in the middle and don't feel like you're going to alienate them too much. You want to feel connected. They want to feel connected to you, and a lot of this stuff is subconscious, but it's really important. So those are my 5 things, the 5 ways you can crush it at a farmer's market every time. I hope that helps for you guys. If you want to see more stuff like this, please hit the subscribe button right now. Like and share these videos with your friends, and check out my website at theurbanfarmer.co, where you got links to my online course, my one-day workshop, my book, and you can also make a donation to the show, which is much appreciated and always welcome. It allows me to take the time to do this kind of stuff, upgrade camera gear, so on and so forth. You can do that at theurbanfarmer.co/support. All right, we'll see you soon.